Funny bones. This is how the story begins. On a dark, dark hill, there is a dark, dark town. In the dark, dark town, there is a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there is a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there is a dark, dark staircase.
Dark street, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark staircase.
Down the dark, dark staircase, there was a dark, dark cellar.
Dark cellar, some skeletons live.
And in the dark, dark cellar... What's in the dark, dark cellar? Do you want to know what's in the dark, dark cellar? There was a big skeleton, a little skeleton, and a dog skeleton. One night, the big skeleton sat up in bed. He scratched his skull.
What shall we do tonight?
Let's take the dog for a walk. And frighten somebody.
Good idea.
So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton left the dark, dark cellar. Climbed the dark, dark staircase and stepped out into the dark, dark street. They walked past the houses and the shops. They walked past the zoo and the police station. They went into the park.
What shall we do now?
Let's play on the swings. And throw a stick for the dog. And frighten somebody.
Good idea.
So the big skeleton, the little skeleton, and the dog skeleton walked around the dark, dark pond and up to the dark, dark swings. The big skeleton and the little skeleton played on the swings. They threw a stick for the dog. Suddenly something happened. The dog skeleton chased the stick, tripped over a park bench, bumped into a tree. And ended up as a little pile of bones.
He's all come to pieces. What shall we do now?
Let's put them together again. big skeleton and the little skeleton put the dog skeleton together again. They sang a song while they did it. The toe bone's connected to the foot bone. The foot bone's connected to the leg bone. The leg bone's connected to the hip bone. The hip bone's connected to the backbone. Then they got mixed up. When they had finished, the big skeleton said,
That dog looks a bit funny to me.
So he does. We've got his tail on the wrong end. And his head.
Phoo!
At last the dog was properly put back together again. The big skeleton and the little skeleton sang another song.
These bones can bark again, can run around in the park again, can frighten people in the dark again.
The big skeleton scratched his skull.
That reminds me. We forgot to frighten somebody.
Let's do it on the way home then.
Good idea.
So the big skeleton and the dog skeleton left the dark, dark swings and tried to frighten somebody.
I wish we had a nice little boy to frighten.
I wish we had a nice old lady.
The trouble was, there wasn't anybody. Everybody was in bed. Even the policemen in the police station were in bed. Even the animals in the zoo. Of course, the skeleton animals were awake.
Let's have a ride on the elephant skeleton. Let's have a word with the parrot skeleton. Good evening, all. Who's a cheeky boy, then? Have a cup of tea. Pretty Polly. Put the kettle on, Mother.
Let's keep out of the way of the crocodile skeleton.
Bye-bye.
What shall we do now?
Let's frighten each other. That's better than nothing.
Oh, what a brain!
They hid round corners and frightened each other.
Ooh.
Boo. Meow.
Woof.
They jumped out of dustbins and frightened each other. All the way home. That is how the story ends. On a dark, dark hill, there is a dark, dark town. In the dark, dark town, there was a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there was a dark, dark house. In the dark, dark house, there was a dark, dark staircase. Down the dark, dark staircase, there was a dark, dark cellar. In the dark, dark cellar, some skeletons lived. They still do.
Dark, dark hill, there was a dark, dark town. In the dark, dark town, there was a dark, dark street. In the dark, dark street, there was a dark, dark house.